Hey everybody, this is Jeff from Jeff's Vegetable Garden and Containers. I'm here to talk over I told you I was going to talk about the tomato trimmings and peppers and eggplant and spraying the garden, so I'll go over that with you now. So, couldn't actually make a video of me trimming them because I got stuck out here in the pouring rain yesterday, but you see the tomatoes down there. There's nothing near the ground. I do them up 6 to 8 inches and you can see all the. You're not going to hurt anything. You don't cut the main stalk, but you can cut any branches or feeding branches out, anything like that. You see, I did it on these two here too. They're all the way up all the way up off the ground, especially with the moisture we got out here now. But these are like that too. They're all up off the ground, and they are starting to put some tomatoes out on them now back here. So you gotta keep those leaves and extra vines up off the ground because it gets down that moisture and it'll start tearing things up. These in the buckets I trimmed up, they might look a little tight, but they're actually not because they're down 4 or 5 inches in the bucket until you hit the dirt. So these two are all trimmed up too. You can see a good shot of it down there. There's just nothing down there where it was just a bucket full where everything was. So you got to get rid of that kind of stuff. Those zucchinis and everything are doing pretty good. You can see one, I already picked a couple of these. You can see another one growing right down there. Everything seems to be keeping up. The yellow squash are coming back in again. Really flowering real good. You can see them flowering real good in there. So beans are looking good. Of course, all the potatoes are looking good. The corn's looking good. But we'll get back to these peppers. You can see like down in there where it's all around the bottom of the bucket on those peppers. So I do is go in there with my either scissors or my little shears and just trim all that back up at least 4 inches. I do around 6, and then what that does is that allows all the growth and everything is thinking about growing and where its needs are to stop trying to do it down the bottom of the plant and doing it up at the top of the plant where you need it for all the peppers. So everything's looking good on there. There's a little pepper growing on that one there. One on that one too. So I do still have to do the peppers, but they won't take long. They're not as time involving as the tomatoes are. But I got 6 to do back there, and like 4 more up here to do, maybe 5. Cucumbers, like I told you, are looking really good. You can see them going up the trellis. I'll explain my treatment to you here in just a few seconds. But why I'm here, that's what I was telling you the other day. I just saw this. So there's a cucumber right there. I just pulled off. If they get any kind of size to them for what you're looking for, you want to get rid of them. You don't want to keep them on there because they'll affect the growth of anything else that can come out of there. You can see the other one's starting to grow in here everywhere. So now's the time of year. There's another one down there. I just got to keep an eye on all of them. You can just see how many are trying to get the different sizes. And these English cucumbers, you can see the size of them down there right now. If I can get this leaf up, see that? There's the size of that English one. I let it get a little bigger, but since it's so big, I might just pick it now because I'm in the area, and I might get this one over here too while I'm here. I like them to get a little fatter and a little more consistency to them, but since they're early ones coming on, I got another one growing there. I got 4 or 5 growing on there too. I'm just going to take them while I can. You can see the size of those things compared to my hand there, and they normally get like 3-4 inches wide and big and bold, but I'm going to take these while they're fresh now, and that allow, because they're kind of growing what's the right word, at different times with some of the other ones on there, because if they're lower to the ground, they're going to get bigger and grow because they've been in the ground more, and the upper ones are going to struggle a little more. So I'd rather put them kind of on the same wavelength of what we got. Like I said, I picked a couple of zucchinis, a couple of good things out here the other day. So I'll have to do these peppers here, but you can just see from there how far up I cut all those tomatoes and the edges of them and everything. So These peppers, you'll see they're not like that, but I got to get up, cut up maybe 3 or 4 inches just to get rid of the leaves and a little bit of the bottom of that. That's, oh my gosh, patty pan squash I planted maybe last week. You can see it's starting to come up already. Typically patty pan squash does real good for me. It's an attractive looking vegetable too, and you see the flowers coming back on this eggplant. So I got 1, 2, 3 eggplants, one Japanese, one standard. I think the other one's white, but they're looking real good. This zucchini I'm expecting to really explode here pretty soon. It's huge in size, and I put a little bit shade sun this year. It looks good, but I don't see any real zucchinis growing off it right now. There's not really a lot of flowers on it, but we did have a day or so with no sun, so sometimes it takes a little bit of time to come back, but we'll see. We'll see, because I didn't put as much zucchini in as I know we do, and the last few years I used to put zucchini out here, and oh my God, they get huge, and I couldn't keep up with them every other day. They were just coming in, and I would probably get, it's like cucumbers at one time, I would get probably an average of 3 to 5 a day, and if I waited a week, I'd have 15 or 20 out here, and they would just get so big and tear everything up. And here in the last, my cucumbers I've started to have come back. They don't last the whole summer, even though I treat them. But the zucchini has struggled the last couple of years. I haven't figured it out yet. I do the same planting I've been doing for years, try a few little different things, but it doesn't seem to cure the problem that I had with all this stuff. So with the zucchini, and I don't know if it's a seed, I got to go to a different type zucchini. The squashes are doing fine, everything else is, but I'm not saying I'm not getting zucchini, but I used to get them by the record number, and I don't know if something to change in the seeding methods or what it could be, but I don't eat it, but I know they go crazy when I make it, and then I cut it up into pieces, then I have it to make zucchini bread and all kind of different stuff, so we'll see. All right, next thing I want to go over with you, what I have here is we're now going to go over this spray I use for my garden out here, and I've made some adjustments to it over the years and done different things, but everything I put into it is actually very good for your garden. It's either acts as a natural pesticide, or it acts as a not a vitamin, oh my God, a fertilizer, natural fertilizer. So let me tell you what's in this thing. And right now, everything in this garden was done with this fertilizer and sprayed under the leaves, top of the leaves, down the stems, in the dirt and everything. Yesterday I had about an hour or two out here getting everything done, and looks real good. But of course last night I was like, well, I think we're over the rain, and then we had about 2 inches of rain last night, and like a monsoon and lightning. So today's supposed to be the end of it. She's hot as the dickens, but we'll see. We'll see how it, not too worried about it. You know, we'll do the best we can with it. I can always spray them again, but it's nice if you get out and spray them and let it get on there a couple of days. So what I did today was the things I was worried about, the peppers, tomatoes, zucchinis, the eggplants, and anything like that that's here, not the corn and potatoes, but everything else. I just sprayed a nice little coating on the top of the leaves, hoping the bottom of the leaves still have a little coating, down around the dirt and on the stems. Just a nice little coating, and that should be good for now. And then I'll have to come back out in about 2 weeks and do it again. And then next week I'll do a little light fertilizing on everything to see if we can keep up with the weather the way it is now. The big thing is watering, especially since not these 2 rows here really, but everything else is in containers or the dirt's above ground, where you could get a bunch of rain and say, I don't have to water there. We've got 5 inches of rain last week. When they're in the containers, it'll be nice and wet like anything else, but within a day or 2 days, it dry as a bone, and you can see it affecting everything. So, and the ones I do have in the ground aren't that far in the ground. So, the rain's nice. It does keep up, but I looked at our forecast, like 5-6 days at 85 to 90 degrees the next couple of days. So it's humid as hell out here. Everything's real wet right now because it just rained last night, but And this is a Wednesday, so not today, but I would say by Friday evening or either Saturday morning, I'll have to come out and water everything again, and you get back in that season. And like I said, I got the hose I run out here, but I typically put my watering systems in. I ordered them all. They're all here. I just haven't had a chance to get them in between all the birthdays and the grandkids and seeing them. There's just too much going on, so we'll just see how it goes. All right, let's go back here to this. That's what I got. I got a little 2-gallon pump sprayer here that I use. I bought another one, even though I got a couple down there, and I got another one in my shed here. It's just, you never know if when you wash them out, you get double them next year. If they're not gonna spray or do what you want them to do, even if you clean them. So my wife saw it, or sales up there, sales said, "You want it?" And I said, "Yeah, let's just get it now. Have another one, and that way I can separate too. If I'm doing fertilizers, or if I'm doing pest deterrents or something like that, I can do them in different ones. But I wash that either way when I'm done every time, and then drop the pressure off, which I just finished with this one. So I lifted the rev relief valve on it and got the pressure off it, and I have to put it in the shed, and then nothing's in there, so we're going to kill anything or hurt anything. So I'll tell you what we're doing here. Like I said, you just put on a nice spray and a mist, and make sure you get underneath all the leaves, on top of the leaves, the stems, a little bit down in the dirt, and it just goes a long way towards helping your garden. My dog is up there chasing rabbits, and hey, yeah, she's up there chasing rabbits. She's got a couple birds, baby birds, out of the bushes the last couple days and nights that have fallen out of the tree, and of course the dogs, they don't want to give it up, and you got to chase them around, and by the time you get the thing out of their mouth, it's either dead or hurt. So she's a real nice little thing. She don't even know she's hurting anything. But oh, and there's her friend Obi coming up. I don't know if you can see the other dog just come over there. That's Obi, that's her buddy. So hopefully she don't find nothing, because they'll both be fighting over it. All right, but let's get back to this, and I'll just show you a picture of the garden we're going through. So before you add any water to your sprayer or anything like that, what I use is I go up and I get 2 cups of milk. I use old milk, can be spoiled milk, whatever's left over. Don't use your fresh stuff unless that's all you got. Get 2 cups of milk, pour it right in there, okay? After you get those 2 cups of milk, you want to use a tablespoon of baking soda, probably about 2 teaspoons, but a hefty tablespoon of baking soda. Then what I do is I put in 2 capfuls from vegetable oil, or whatever oil you have, olive oil, whatever, pour them in the solution also. Then I pour a little capful of dish detergent in there. It's a very small amount. Then I put the dish detergent in, and then what I use is I use garlic salt. I use a teaspoon of garlic salt, a teaspoon of turmeric, I think that's how you say it, and a teaspoon of red chili pepper. And it's all got to be, not flakes, it's all got to be powder form, so it'll mix up, not get plugged up in the sprayer. Plus it seems to do better. You can see it on the leaves. Not this recipe, but there's certain recipes where you can use vinegar and ammonia and different things in your treatments, especially for the pest side. There's Epsom salts, and there's baking powder and different things. There's Obi. Say, hey, Obi. There's Obi. That's it. Brandy's best friend. Over here for a while. So there's that one rolling on her belly. If it's cool out and it's nice out, man, they ran a little bit right now, but they normally just run like the wind. But when it's hot out there, like adults, they're like, whatever. Maybe at night they might run a little more. So once you have all those ingredients together, you want to make sure it's not hot water, but you want to make sure it's warmer water, and mix it all up, and then add the water into the sprayer until your sprayer's about 7/8 of the way full. And then shake it, mix it up even more, put it together, pump spray, get it together, and like I said, spray all the leaves on top, on the bottom, the roots and the stems coming up out of the ground, and the stems above the ground. Just get everything nice and wet and saturated, preferably. You don't want to do this in the middle of a 90, 95, 85 degree day when the sun's out. You see the sun's out now, but it's only been out for just a little bit because it's been so cloudy here. So, and what I've sprayed already has already dried up for the most part. So I'm not too excited about it. But typically you want to do it like first thing in the morning, early before the sun really comes out, or at night when the sun's just about going down, the sun's not on everything. That's when you want to spray it on there, and you keep up with it. You'll want to do it about every 14 days, every 2 weeks, just to keep up with everything. And then your garden will do pretty good. So you have that milk, which milk and baking soda are great with growing things and giving everything an extra powder, you know, to get going. Your turmeric, your chili powder, your garlic powder and stuff like that. And the soap is to make it stick to the leaves a little bit. The oil is to make it slippery for the bugs. And then the rest of those things that I just told you about, they're all just smelling deterrent. So if you're out in the garden now, it don't smell bad. It smells more like garlic, what it smells like out here right now. But for those animals, they get around animals, you know, pests, predators, and the bugs, which I'm worried about the most. They just can't stand the smell and what's going on with it. So make sure you get your treatments done. When I post this video, I'll try to maybe put a list in a heading of everything you need to add to this mixture, and then you'll have it. So if you're out in your garden can be doing not too good and things aren't growing right, and you're like, man, I've watered, I've tried this and nothing's growing. A lot of times using that milk and using that baking soda will take a week or two, but it'll bring even dead stuff back to life a lot, and you'll start producing. And generally, especially on a year like now, I lose production, which I'm hoping I don't this year, but I lose production because when you get too much rain and too much moisture, it just tears up. First, it washes away everything you use to help plant and fertilize dirt and soil from, even in containers. And too much water is just terrible for plants. You want water, trust me. They need to be kept before they get dried and killed and all that. But you know that I've had it before. We've had in summer and August, we've had 8-10 days of rain every day in a row, even if it's just thunder showers and all that. And it gets so wet, it just kills stuff off, and your production goes way down. You know, and then once it dries out a little bit and you start watering it yourself again, it'll come back. But that peak production time of mid to early July through the second week of August is your big production for most of your stuff in this area, the mid-Atlantic area. That's when you can't afford the problems. And then the other production time here is when everything's, it's like September, early October, for anything that's finishing up, like late bloom tomatoes and peppers and different things like that. That stuff will start to come in. So the garden I got in here with the choices I chose, it's probably about 75% summer garden because we're going back and forth between places over the year. To our vacation, hopefully soon full-time house. And then, so we're going between the two places, and just time I get back, I can't do it. So then when I get in there, I put certain stuff in there that I know is going to grow in my above ground garden down there. And I'll put it in generally in like October, and I'll get two good harvests out of it, and then we'll get in winter, and then it kind of doesn't look great, but it doesn't get that cold down there to where it kills it. And then come spring, I trim them back and do a couple of things and refertilize them, and they seem to come back again. But just about the time they're starting to come back down there in Florida area, before the heat gets too bad, I'm ready to go. I'll take what I can, and this year I handed everything over to our friends down the street, so I'm hoping next year I work around a little bit better. I still want to hand things off. I don't want to just die, but hopefully we'll get a little more production. I don't know why, because I have nowhere to store it down there. But it's just being a gardening guy that is just so used to growing and landscape and planting and all that just goes crazy over this stuff. So hoping to get down here to Florida in the next month or two or sooner to check on the fruit trees and do a couple other things and see how everything's going down there. We'll see how it works out. But like I said, I'll put the ingredients for the spray down there. Just make sure you keep up with it. Once you mix it up, it takes you maybe half hour, an hour, depending on the size of your garden, to spray everything. And then you're protected and you're done. And like now, I had those stink bugs and ants and moss, and it doesn't affect the bees. The bees just keep coming, bumblebees and all that stuff. But the other kind of bugs that drive you crazy, that eat your plants up, put holes in the leaves and everything, it seems to, the aphids and all that kind of stuff, it seems to really do a number on those. But like I said, if in a week or two you have them back, you got to spray again. But I will do it probably through August. I'll probably keep up every 2 weeks doing it just to keep the tolerance down and keep things growing the way I want. I was going to just show you, if you look through there, there's a bee on here right now. Bumblebee right there, you see him floating. He's getting on these yellow flowers. He's loving everything. So it's good, and like I said, I got most of the leaves I was having an issue with off here, but we'll see how it goes. If I got to get more off here, but said the gardens everywhere I went. The only little disappointment I have is these pepper plants, but since I treated them just yesterday and they got a little bit more rain, they look a little better. So we'll see how they go. I'll just have to baby them along until I get them where I want. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Don't forget to go out to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all those different places, and X, where I post everything. And please go out and get a chance, check it out and view it, and like and subscribe it, and pass it on to friends, whatever you need to do. We'll just keep pushing. For about a year or two, everything was going up pretty good as far as getting subscribers and doing more with it, but I kind of got stuck on some projects in Florida this year, and I posted some of that, but not a lot. It was just too much for me to keep up with that, thinking about this, so I'm trying to get back into it. Just so much, not killer, but so much to keep up. For anybody's got any questions, like I said, you got any questions about the insecticide or how to grow these things, or you're struggling with your eggplant or something like that, you just let me know, and I'll be assured to tell you what you need to add to keep them going. All right, guys, you have a great rest of the week, and have a happy 4th of July. See y'all.